and welcome to another show from Emotionally Free. My name is Sergey Levikin, and today I'm interviewing Mahima Kalla, a research student at Monash University. Mahima is researching the effects of EFT in rural health. Mahima, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, Mahima, can you tell us more about yourself?
Okay, so my name is Mahima. I'm a PhD student here at Monash. Basically, I'm studying a new stress release technique called emotional freedom techniques, also called tapping for short. I'm just trying to study how EFT can help people who are based in a rural setting and who suffer from chronic diseases like cancer, schizophrenia, and other illnesses.
So, Mahima, what got you interested in EFT?
Sure. So about 2 years ago, my journey started when I first watched the film The Secret, and just the law of attraction. I was introduced to it, and it seemed like a fascinating topic. I tried to apply it in my life, but it just seemed like results weren't showing up, and it got frustrating. And I was just trying to look for more solutions. And one day I bumped into a YouTube video on EFT, and that's where my journey started. I started to apply it. For the next few days, I constantly tapped. I used the technique in my life, and results started to show up pretty quickly, and things started to shift. So I thought that's when I decided that I wanted to delve deeper into it.
So far, what has been your experience with EFT? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So in my own experience, I have seen and heard about some really profound healings with EFT. And one of them happened with my aunt, and she was diagnosed with cancer last year at about this time. And it was the final stage, and the doctor had told her that she had about a couple of months to live. And that was 12 months back. I did some surrogate EFT work with her, and surrogate EFT means that you pretty much tap on yourself, but you imagine like you're tapping on that other person you want the healing to work for. It's like distance healing, in other words. So I did that for her in a couple of sessions with a qualified practitioner. And she also found some local complementary medicine therapists who assisted her in her healing journey, along with the medical support she was getting anyway. And that was 12 months back, and she's actually gone back to work. She's recovered quite a lot, and she's actually found another path in life where she's engaging with meditation and other such mental stress release modalities. So it's been a pretty profound healing for her, and that's just been a really big confirmation for me that it's a really great tool that can be used by people in all sorts of areas of their life.
And what kind of training have you done in EFT?
Yeah, so I've done EFT level 1, level 2, and level 3. It has all been AMET certified training. AMET is an organization that pretty much looks after the entire EFT practitioners community in all parts of the world, and they are a huge organization, and they've got some really good standards in terms of certification and things like that. And they also do a lot of training, and they fund researches, and it's a pretty big kind of umbrella organization for promoting energy and meridian-related techniques in the world. Yep.
Mahima, I'm sure our viewers will be interested to know what your topic of research is. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I have chosen specifically to study how EFT can help people who are based in rural areas, especially where medical infrastructure is quite limited. And apart from that, because of the experience with my aunt and also other experiences that I've had previously, cancer is an intriguing subject for me. So I want to study specifically how EFT can be used to assist people who've got cancer and other chronic diseases. Yeah.
What made you decide on this topic? What is it about this topic that got you interested in the first place?
I decided on this topic mainly because of the profound stories of healing that I had come across, as well as I feel that we are missing a key point here in the puzzle, and I feel that our society doesn't place enough emphasis on the role of emotions and mental stresses in the creation of physical illnesses in the body. And I just feel like emotional freedom techniques is a great way to bridge that gap.
Interesting. Every PhD student needs supervisors. And Mahima, who are your supervisors?
Yep, so I've got three pretty amazing academics, and I'm very grateful that I've got their support. My primary supervisor is an academic in the School of Rural Health based in Monash, Gippsland, and she's got an interest in complementary medicine, especially herbs. My secondary supervisor is an academic in the same department, and she's a pharmacist. And my secondary supervisor is based in Queensland, and she's a clinical psychologist, and she's also an EFT practitioner who has published a wide range of trials and other research in the area of EFT. So it's really invaluable to have her support as well in the project.
Excellent. So how did you find these people? How did you interest them in supervising you?
Yeah, that was a pretty long journey, I would say, to be honest. It took me about 7 months to get a primary supervisor when I was putting my application together. And the main reason, I suppose, was that because it's such a new topic and it just comes across to some people as voodoo, kind of, so to speak. And a lot of academics felt like it was placebo effect, and there was nothing more to that. Placebo effect is basically to say that something works only because the patient wants it to work or they think it will work. And I'm not denying it. That's a really big factor in EFT research at the moment, and it's a very valid factor. However, that's one of the reasons why a lot of academics were a bit wary of the subject, and that's fine. Like, I understand where they're coming from. And I think the wait actually served me quite well, because now I've got a pretty good team of supervisors available to help me with the project. And my third supervisor, who I mentioned, is an EFT practitioner. I got in touch with her through another practitioner who knew about her and who had read her research. And I was just sharing with my other friend that, I'm having this trouble and it just feels like I'm never going to get it done and things like that. And it's never going to happen. And this friend of mine suggested, why don't you talk to this academic in Queensland, and she's done a lot of research and she'll be able to help you. And that's how I got in touch with my third supervisor.
Excellent stuff. Mahima, you're not the first person interested in this from the research perspective. And there has definitely been quite a bit of research done into EFT already by researchers around the world. Can you please tell us about the existing research that you have come across in your preparation?
Yeah, so I've come across a wide range of research, especially in the area of post-traumatic stress disorder for war veterans. And there has been an amazing amount of work and really thorough research, really genuine research that has been undertaken. And one randomized control trial showed that there were in a group of a few war veterans, 80% of them remains absolutely symptom-free at the end of 6 months. And that's pretty amazing if you think about it, because PTSD is believed to be non-curable. And it's amazing how these war veterans remained absolutely symptom-free at the end of even 6 months.
That is a high rate of recovery.
That is a high rate. And I assume the healing effects still prevail. So it's something you cannot ignore, that's for sure. There has also been a lot of research in the area of food cravings, losing weight, quitting smoking, and that sort of thing. There has also been a lot of research showing that there's a lot of change that occurs in the body's biochemistry when EFT is administered to a patient. And one study showed that there was an about 24% drop in cortisol levels after 1 hour of an EFT session. And cortisol is your body's stress hormone that's triggered when you're under stress and in that fight or flight response. So it's pretty amazing, I think, that how the body's biochemistry can be changed just by accessing your body's acupressure points. So another trial where a group of people were administered EFT, and that group was suffering from fibromyalgia. That group showed a lot of improvement in things like social vitality, function, decrease in pain, and other things like that. And that's a pretty good result as well. And it has been proven clinically.
So, Mahima, if you wanted to get in touch with the previous EFT researchers, who would they be and why?
Sure. So two researchers in particular who I really respect are Dawson Church and Dr. David Feinstein. And both of them have written some pretty amazing articles and have done some really thorough researches in the area of EFT and energy psychology. So they are definitely two people I really look up to and would really love the opportunity to work with. And there's also other people who do a lot of EFT tapping. However, they do not come from an academic background. But some of the names would be Nick Ortner, Jessica Ortner, Carol Luke, and obviously Gary Craig.
That's
Yeah, who doesn't want him?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Of course, the EFT research is still at its beginning stage. In your estimation, what EFT research is still missing or is needed, and why?
There's definitely a lot of scope for research on different applications of EFT. However, something that I would be really keen on and interested in would be how EFT can be incorporated into our conventional medical systems. And that includes your hospitals, clinics, aged care facilities, nursing homes, and other things like that. Because as I've previously already mentioned, we are missing a key point here, and we are not giving enough emphasis to the role of emotions and mental stress in the creation of physical illnesses in the body.
And as practitioners, we have all come across some amazing recoveries from stress, from anxiety, and other emotional issues that contribute in a major way towards the development of health conditions as well.
Absolutely. Right? And I have a story to share. My mom was visiting me about a month ago, and she suffers from anxiety quite often. And I did some few rounds of tapping, really quick 5-minute EFT sessions, and she actually found that her anxiety dropped significantly. She could sleep a lot better, and she could just feel really different in her body as a whole.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
doing this interview. And if any of you are interested in contacting Mahima about her research, you can. Will they be able to contact you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Great, excellent. If you are interested in getting in touch with Mahima, please contact me at www.emotionallyfree.com.au. You will see this address at the bottom of the screen. This has been Sergey Levikin interviewing Mahima Kalla, a PhD candidate and a research student at Monash University in Melbourne. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.